Greetings, sirs and madams. I'm Seraphic Zero, and we're playing Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. So we recently received news that Barioth is going to be in the Monster Hunter World expansion Iceborne, so I thought I'd go ahead and show off a hunt from the from the last game he was in. So Barioth actually wasn't in Generations, but he was added to Generations Ultimate. And this Barioth is absolutely gigantic. I think this might be a Gold Crown Large. Yeah, so Barioth is a monster I like quite a bit. He was introduced 3rd gen, and he was actually one of the walls that, like when I was starting lancing in Monster Hunter Tri, he was fairly difficult to lance at that time. Well, especially because I wasn't quite sure how to lance properly at that time. Yeah, and so Generations and Generations Ultimate uses this odd style system, and I main Adept Lance in those games, and it's gonna look super weird compared to Monster Hunter World, so just pardon the awkwardness. So it's basically Power Guard, except you lead your combo with the counter. Yeah, and then you also can't counter cancel, or you can't. The only cancel you can do is a step cancel, so it's really stiff compared to World. But yeah, just forgive me for that. Anyway, so yeah, so the way I'm fighting this Barioth is that he is a very fast, very accurate monster, and he has he just pretty much attacks you relentlessly. He has very good aim. He does fly a lot. And he does this motion that's referred to as hawking. The rats will do this a lot, where they'll be in the air, and they'll try to flank you and just stay right on top of you. That's called hawking. So Barioth can be really challenging that way. And he has a few distinct moves in here. He used to do he used to use the same attack as Nargacuga, where he would do he would do 3 leaps while swinging his wing blades, but he doesn't do that anymore because there are some games where both Barioth and Narga were in the same game, so they decided to make the monsters more distinct. Yeah, so to replace the blade swing, they gave Barioth this hip check, and yeah, so the hip check has a very obvious tell. It's very fast, when it punches. So yeah, this should be a very good opening for you to block or counter or evade. The only problem is that when he does the hip check, it kind of changes his positioning compared to you. So yeah, you're not exactly going to get access to his best weak points when he does that. Ugh. Yeah, I hate that little charge attack. It literally has no tell, and it pretty much hits me no matter what. Okay, and the other move that Barioth has that I would say is very troubling for lances is that he'll have this move where he'll flank you, he'll jump to the side, and then he'll immediately do a charge. So it basically, it's a move designed to screw with your camera, and it's very hard to tell what angle he's attacking from. So you'll have to be very careful about that. Okay, and you guys might notice that I'm not really using triple pokes while I'm adept lancing, and that's because Generations kind of ruined Lance with this weird, the last hit of your combo always ends in this dumb triple poke thing that comes out way too slow, so I almost never do it. Okay, and yeah, Barioth has a lot of very fast, hard-hitting physical attacks. He also has some ice breath attacks, but generally they're fairly easy to deal with, so I don't think you have to worry about them too much. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is a high-rank Barioth. I hadn't gotten very far into G-rank in this game, and I just decided to keep playing Monster Hunter World instead of continuing with this, but yeah, so I'm basically using high rank equipment, but the lance is a G rank lance, but it's not endgames because it's not upgraded all the way. Okay, so it looks like Barioth's getting ready to limp off, so I'm gonna try to drill as much damage into him as I can before he gets away. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's sharpen and get ourselves all squared off before we pursue him. Yeah, so in Monster Hunter Tri, when I was playing that game, Barioth was actually the first monster that forced me to use paintballs regularly, because he is a monster that flies a lot, and he can basically fly anywhere in the map. So if you don't paintball him, he can be extremely difficult to track. So yeah, just be mindful of that. That may be less of an issue now with the scout fly system, but yeah, that was quite a problem back in the day. Okay, he's hawking me again. Oops. That didn't hit me very hard for some reason. Okay, he's using Ice Breath. Yeah, the good thing about the Ice Breath is if he can block the actual projectile, like it won't do like the wind, like the whirlwind explosion thing. So that's really good. Okay, and obviously Barioth's weak point is his face or his tusks. You can break his tusks, and you can break his wing blades, and you can cut off his tail. The tail happens to have an unholy shit ton of HP, so I actually find it fairly difficult to cut off. But while you're fighting him, you'll find it advantageous to break his wing blades, because when he tries to side hop on a broken arm, like, it's going to cause him to trip. So yeah, that can be fairly helpful. Okay, I'm trying to get a lance charge going. Ooh, there he goes. Just one hit left. That's funny. Okay, so that's what it is like to lance a Barioth. Yeah, so stick around. We're going to like look at Barioth's like armor set like after we get out of this hunt. But yeah, this thing was absolutely massive. They usually aren't this big. Yeah, so we already got a look. I think it was revealed by Game Informer at, you know, basically like iceborne version of Barioth. He looks much better, like much better textures, and you know, they're changing a few things about him. He's got more fur on his paws and that type of stuff. And it looks like he does have some turf wars with the other monsters like Bonboro and stuff. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hunting the Barioth. It's a very fun and challenging hunt, and it can be it's actually a very high pressure hunt because the Barioth is just constantly attacking. I think with the Lance's new tools in World and Iceborne, like the Lance should be much better equipped to like a fight with the Barioth than it was before. So I think it should be a fairly good matchup. Holy shit! Look at that! Jesus, looks like I'm just exploding his head right there. That's pretty brutal. Okay, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to hunting Barioth and Iceborne, and yeah, his equipment. Hopefully they'll add in the lance and the armor. Wow, it was a gold crown large. Jesus. Okay, so we're gonna. Yeah, here is the high rank Barioth armor. You can see it has a lot of similarities to the Kirin armor. It basically has the same hair and the same skirt. And this is the Barioth lance. It was one of my favorite lances. It just looks amazing. And it was one of the few lances that was actually like a blade. Yeah, so it has a really cool weapon, and the shield looks great. And it generally had very good stats like on it too. A very good ice lance. So I'm looking forward to using that. The Barioth armor, well, Generations Ultimate, it tends to be kind of weird with the way it distributes skills. But Barioth armors, they tend to have things like critical eye, evasion related skills, whether that be evade window or evade distance. And yeah, this one seems to be a little different than is normal, but the high rank armor seems to add airborne, and then like a negative, like a constitution, or was it stamina? Yeah, negative stamina. So the Barioth armor, it seems to overlap with a few of the other monsters. Like it's probably going to have a few similarities with the Odogaron armor, being that it boosts like a critical eye skills, and probably some similarities with Legiana, since, you know, they're both ice attack monsters and they both boost evade. So I'm curious to see like how they're going to handle the skill distribution like on this armor. But anyway, guys, that's a good look at the Barioth armor and its equipment. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.